Well, morning everybody. I'm Elaine Ball. I just thought I'd give you literally an update from the last month. The crackling in the background is the fire. This is my office. So yeah, we can ignore that anyways. But I just wanted to give you an update because quite a lot of things have happened in the last few months with Elaine Ball and with the marketing consultancy, and I want to share what we've been up to. So one of the big things that I did last month was I attended Content Marketing World in Cleveland, which was very exciting, and also because POB magazine are actually in Cleveland too, so I got to meet up with Sarah and Perry from POB magazine. But the highlights were actually at Content Marketing World. So this is a really big show that's run by a guy called Joe Pulizzi, and he is from a company called the Content Marketing Institute. So for us marketing people, they're just like amazing. So off I went to attend this conference. And the highlights, literally, I mean, you get to know all these marketing people anyways in the end, but I just wanted to share a couple of these amazing people. So we've got Andrew Davies, who has done the book Brandscaping, a must-buy book. I do actually talk about the book quite a lot in my workshops and how he does bits and pieces. But what was really good, he talked a lot about video. And if you think about it, we produce some really boring crap, excuse the pun, but most of the companies in the geospatial industry, from manufacturers, especially manufacturers, produce just some rubbish, mainly because it's not exciting, it doesn't capture your attention. So he actually talked a lot about, is it watchable? Is it watchable content, as they call it in Content Marketing World? And he used this video of this two people in an office putting elastic bands. It was how many elastic bands will it take to blow up, to destroy a watermelon. Now this was actually, I think he said it's on YouTube anyways, you can look it up, and there's a link in the profile below. But they had something like 45 minutes before this thing exploded. But it got people, there was people sitting there watching this. How many elastic bands? I think it was something like 700 elastic bands putting on this watermelon. But what it did was it actually got loads of attention because it built up this attention. You just wanted to see what happened. And there was a few hilarious comments where people had actually put on, oh my God, I missed my school pickup point because I'm watching a blinging watermelon explode. But he talks about this, and it's really interesting. And he said more of us need to think like a reality TV editor. There's always a cliffhanger, so how can you make your video good? And if that's from, a piece of laser scanning equipment right through to actually doing a survey service, be it river surveying or whatever it is you do, make it a bit more exciting. So he was really good. My absolute amazing person who I follow is a lady called Carla Johnson. She's just fabulous. She's from an engineering background. She's worked a lot with engineering type companies. But one of the ones that stood out the most, and this is what's really important to me, is surveying is dying. It's dying out. People don't want to be a surveyor anymore. And that's really sad, and I'm like, damn it, how can we get more people back in? Now, I'm not a surveyor, but my family are. My dad's a hydrographer, he's also a mine surveyor and a very innovative guy, and it's been within our blood, so we've always been exposed to it, so I'm really passionate about it. But anyways, Carla actually talks about this lady called Kathy Button-Bell, a company called Emerson, and they're like a century-old engineering firm, and how they got kids back into science. So again, I'll put some links and stuff on so you can have a look at some of the content that they've actually produced. But she actually partnered with a science guru called Hank Green, and he does a lot of storytelling and produced a lot of videos for NASA and the Discovery Channel. So it's really made me laugh because there's one article I read this morning and it said something about, you know, B2B marketing or B2B, business to business, and they'd actually written something about boring to boring. Well, B2B, business to business, or it doesn't need to be boring to boring. We need to sort of jazz it up a little bit and, you know, get out our passions, because everybody has passions. So another amazing person that you have to check out is a guy called Marcus Sheridan, and he's the pool guy. So if you look him up, the company is actually called the Sales Lion. This guy is unbelievable to watch. If you had anybody that you wanted to take to a geospatial conference, be it a surveying one, or, you know, a survey association conference, or I don't know, Trimble Dimensions or Hexagon Live or something, is Marcus Sheridan. This dude is just, you are grilled, and he just gets your attention, and you just like, oh, give me more, give me more. Well, he talks about everybody wants to know the cost of your product or your service. Everybody's got a problem. Everybody wants a comparison. Everybody needs reviews, and, you know, what is the best? And he talks about this, you know, because we do want to know what the cost is, and then we can justify if the cost is actually what it's got, you know, what the service is providing, or the product, or the software. You know, is it good enough? Is there that brand perception that you think, yeah, that's really good? And then last but not very least, there was tons of people at this conference, but my amazing friend Rebecca Gere, who's become she's just amazing. So she's got an agency where she delivers marketing implementation over in Texas. And she's based her company, similar to me, also. Hers is broader than mine, but it's based on engineers. So she works with lots of engineers. She's also produced a really cool book. So I'm going to share this book. So it's definitely a book that you have to buy. And a lot of it's crossover with surveyors. So definitely one to have a look at and have on your bookshelf, which is key. So then off I toddled to Philadelphia to sit with David Rieberstein, who is the Dean of Marketing for Wharton University, so the business side, the business school. Because I met him last year in INSEAD when I was doing some training on industrial marketing, and he invited me to be on his radio show. So I was absolutely amazed. I thought, okay, that's fine. So we had a whole day about metrics, because his forte is metrics, and I'm very passionate about understanding more about how you gain market share. You know, how do you measure your marketing spend, which I think is, you know, it's one of the biggest things that's a problem. So, you know, I do crazy things, and we do like to stand out, but actually how much of an impact does that have? So I wanted to speak to Dave and sit with him for a day to go through this. So then off I went to his radio show, which was really surreal, because you're in this sort of like tiny little room, and there's the you know, the sound control people at one side, and then there's a big blinging window that's got these students just hanging around outside, you know, that could just pop in, you know, and wave to you. And I tell you one thing, my heart, just before I go live on the air and it comes up, they count you down, my heart, I could swear that everybody could hear my heart beating through my chest. And I was just like, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. Anyways, it was fine. And I based a lot of the content, what I spoke about, on my past and on my history, but also on what some of the things I did with Trimble and some of the resellers, Electronic Data Solutions, who's now part of Frontier in the States, and also Topodot or Certainty 3D, who are point cloud processing people. So I did a cover, and also Mike Hopkins from Storm Geomatics in the UK, who's a river surveyor. So that was really interesting. And I tell you, when he told me that their subscription rate was something like 33 million subscribers, I was just like, oh, that's just shocking. Anyway, it was really good. So that was fine. And then last week, me and Ellie zoomed off to Intergeo to Berlin. That's the phone going. And we it was really good because we were actually on Certainty 3D's stand for the week. So we were actually pushing and promoting point cloud processing software. So we actually came up with a really cool campaign. So let me show you briefly. But we came up with Professor Topo because we wanted to try and make it a little bit more exciting. So we had, it's certainty3d.com/intergeo, and we literally I wanted to sort of get across a bit more about what point cloud software actually does and actually differentiate it from everybody else's. So how do you do that? How do you make boring ass software stand out and be different? You come up with something a bit creative. So we came up with Professor Topo, and he was actually zooming around. We also had a little competition, hence the card that we produced, and you could pick an illustration, and this CAD guy, he won. I think he was overwhelmed. I think he's from Czech or something like that. Anyway, so we sent off his Apple Watch, which I think he was rather over the moon with. Yeah, so it was really good with that. I got to mingle with quite a lot of the industry again. So I got back at the weekend and I was absolutely shot. I went and did a horse competition on the Sunday, as you do. And yeah, it was pretty tiring. Anyways, there's loads more stuff that I'm working on at the moment. I'm updating the website, so keep your eyeballs peeled on that. You've probably seen it. If not, I'm going to push it anyways. But get your POB magazine. I am now writing a regular column for Perry, and the latest one I've just finished. I've just sent over November's column, which is more about market segmentation and how you focus on more of your profitable clients. So really good read. I'd love your feedback, good or bad. It's all good for me because I can then work on it and make it better and better all the time. So that's a little update from me, and I will keep you posted with more stuff coming up. All right, take care. Bye.